You might be seeing it going live on Facebook. It is going on my unpublished page, which only I can see. Okay, I think we are live now. Let's begin. First of all, let me just check. Yeah. So good morning once again. Welcome to this special session on Guru Purnima on a Monday morning. Good to see so many of you on time, and as is the tradition of starting things on time with me. Again, just for once, if my screen is clear and I'm audible and visible to you in a small window, please type clear in the chat box or C in the chat box. Okay. Thank you. Let's begin. So this is the pain point series. You all know the context of it. We did a survey last year also. We took a pain point session for that also. This year also in July, August, we planned to take it, but we preponed it a little bit in June itself. So June 20th was the last day to publish or to send your queries. And of course, I'm trying to cover up whatever I can in these two sessions. Let's begin the proceedings of today. Before I begin, I request you all to either shift to PC or tablet or laptop if you're using phone for viewing. Again, you can use it, your personal choice, but make notes. If you don't have a pen and a paper close to you, pen and a notepad, or if you are watching on PC or tablet or laptop, you can make notes on your phone also. It's your choice, because don't rely only on hearing. Learn physically or digitally. In that sense, writing is the best form of learning. Remove all distractions around you for the next 60 minutes or so. Learn from others' problems. Your problem may not be listed in it, but before yours get answered, maybe you can find answers in others' queries as well. But then finally, my disclaimer: if my solutions don't appeal to you, never mind. You're free to consult anyone for the same. With that context in mind, of course, all my presentations always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty, who's given me much more than what I deserve. And when it comes to finance, of course, I have to thank my dad, who has been instrumental in teaching me the clinical part of finance, although it is a Guru Purnima day. And of course, this is not a finance presentation, but of course, big thanks to him. So this is my brief CV. You all are aware of it by now, so I won't be spending time over here. So happy Guru Purnima to all of you. As I said, I have temporarily muted you all for some time, and we'll be doing this for the next 60 minutes or so. Whenever I have listed down many queries, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to handle all that in this time. But for the next 60 minutes, since I have a commitment at 9, so I'll be winding up the session in 60 minutes from now, around about 8:05. And whatever it is, we'll continue and carry forward from there. So this is part one of the pain points. Let's begin the ball roll. You can set the ball rolling. So we all know we all have pain points. Nobody can vouch for it that he or she does not have a pain point. All of us fall in the range of at least 1 to 9. Nobody can say I have zero pain, or very rarely somebody would have unimaginable or unspeakable pain number 10. That person usually gets cut off from the world itself, in that sense that he tries to avoid everyone. So the 0 and the 10 practically don't exist, but every one of us must be at any stage of 1 to 9. So what are pain points? Pain points, by definition, are any specific problems which the owner, means the you or the patients or the customers of the business, are experiencing. Simply saying, they are just problems, plain and simple. So last year we did it that we grouped them into several broader categories. These were the categories which we grouped them into last year, because last year we did not have a finance pain point series. This year we had a different, you can say, Google form for finance. And that is the reason I'm not going with this kind of classification this way. We told you to list your city rather than grouping like this. So we told you to name, and name was optional, but the city of practice was much needed because sometimes the answers are based in the tier of the city as well. Years of practice, uh, again, priority of the pain point, or number of years, you can say, or how grave the problem is. So for today, I have listed actually the highs here. So we all asked you to list pain points in severity order: low, moderate, and severe. And I will start with the high severity order. Of course, not alphabetically, but in the order I received the Google form. So along with the name of city for identification, we will be answering the queries anonymously as done in the past. So there is no point in, you can say, name shaming someone, because we all have our own reservations for that part. So all high priority queries to be listed first, and followed by moderate and low to whatever we can answer in these two special sessions, and maybe in the next few sessions, if at all the response is good. So already how many responses we had? About, you can say, close to 30% or 33% of the people registered for these pain points webinars. So what I mean to say is that they are actually not interested in listening to the answers, or they're plain lazy to just, you can say, make an effort for attempting it. Anyways, it's beyond the context of this. Let's begin with the first query from Surat, Gujarat. As I said, the names won't be there, just the city name, so that you have an idea, or the ones who have posted it, if they're watching it, they get an idea. So in the order we received the Google form, and in the order we received the high severity form, followed by moderate, followed by low priority. So everything has a reason. If we posted that in the forms, there was a reason for that. So the number one question is 1A. Lack of awareness among people, like why RCT and why with bioceramic sealers, direct pulp capping, GIC versus composites, early to decay, different caps, tobacco, brushing technique, plaque. The point is, if you are running your practice, if you don't know your patients, if you don't know your clients, if you don't know the biotype of your patients, you have no right to blame any patient that it is lack of awareness. Who is supposed to spread the lack of awareness? Knowledgeable professionals like us. So if we believe that it is the responsibility of someone else, then we are actually, you can say, shirking away from our responsibility. That is point number one. So the more you create the awareness, the more you will create the need. And the more you create the need, it will reflect in your OPD, and it will reflect in your bank account, because it will lead to more of conversions and more of patients. Now, why RCT and why RCT with a bioceramic sealer? Now, see, the patient comes for pain. We try to tell him that it needs a root canal. Yes, your diagnosis might be absolutely correct. I'm not challenging that. So, but to use a eugenol based, non-eugenol based, resin, bioceramic sealer, it is absolutely your prerogative, your comfort level. See, I'm not here to criticize any materials. I just want you to put across a point that RCT is used to run even with a eugenol sealer as well. Now, that does not mean that you shift to eugenol sealers. That itself means that if you are using a bioceramic sealer or a resin sealer or anyone which is higher end priced, then you need to make the patient aware of the benefits, pros, cons, or whatever of using other and these between that. If you don't create the awareness about these things, why do you expect the patients to know everything? They'll probably know everything about the root canal after, you can say, Googling about the same. But a root canal with a bioceram sealer is a complicating of the things, or complicating of the matters, which you need to spread awareness. I'm not saying you don't do it. I'm saying you do it, but create the awareness first. At the end of the day, the patient needs relief from pain. Whether it is from a eugenol-based sealer or a bioceram-based sealer, it does not make any difference to him. You know it that eugenol may cause a lot of post-operative pain. So that is the reason you are telling the patient to undergo a root canal with this, and accordingly higher charges. So create the need first, make them aware first, then only. Now, direct pulp capping or GIC versus composites, it's easier to imagine. Direct pulp capping, you can always make the patient understand that we are taking a chance to save your tooth from a root canal. There are pitfalls, there are side effects that maybe it becomes a root canal soon, or a proper root canal may need to be done, or maybe a pulpectomy need to be done. But we are giving the tooth a fair and square chance for a direct pulp capping or an indirect pulp capping. So make sure. GIC versus composites, it's a no-brainer. The wear part, the aesthetics part, the usage part, the comfort part, the only benefit of GIC is that it is an insulating material if used as a sandwich technique. It is kind to the pulp if you are placing it maybe subgingival margin. So those are the two advantages primarily. Of course, there are many more, but I'm just broadly listing them compared to composites. But if composites are to be done and GIC to be done, you have a choice. It is a no-brainer. You will always have a composite as the first choice. So you have to make them aware why this, why not that. If you create awareness, they'll automatically be learning that. Then early tooth decay, different caps. Again, people believe in their own notions. They believe that sometimes more caps are good, less caps are good. They keep only one kind of cap, keep only two kind of cap. A personal choice. We also give options in clinics, in our clinic. So it is your choice how you want to do it. Because the more options you give, the more you have to detail to the patient. The problem in India is most people don't like to spend time with the patient. They want to just start with the treatment there and then. And that is one of the biggest mistakes, I would say. Not doing the first consultation properly, not spending the time with the patient. Then, even if you create the need, doing sales by default, not doing sales by scripting. How many of us actually practice the sales scripts? How many of us actually practice how to talk to the patient, how to handle their objections? How many of us actually do role reversal for a medium to big ticket case? Very, very few. So if you are doing things by chance, by default, and not by script or not by design, why do we expect conversions also in that sense? So lack of awareness is related directly to your conversions, directly related to your patients picking up the lower price ticket plan, a lower priced, you can say, treatment plan in that sense. I hope you get the answer. So 1B is poor people and some affordable patient also tell, just give medicine, do not want treatment. Because maybe they have not got the desired trust factor on you. Now, this can have multiple reasons. Of course, it starts with the look of your clinic. And I'm not saying have flashy interiors, have very vintage kind of a very, you can say very rich interiors, but it should be decent looking. It should be neat and clean. The corners should not be having dust. Your sofas should not be torn. Your blinds or curtains should not be, you can say, dirty. So those things in internal marketing make a lot of difference. And how your staff presents, what is their first encounter with your staff, that makes a difference. Most of the clinics, the patients have their first encounter with the staff only and not with the doctor. And if the staff has not behaved well or not behaved in a courteous manner or not behaved in a cooperative manner, I would say the patients would feel that probably this is not the place. Then the final nail in the coffin is when we try to rush the treatment, when we literally try to hard sell the things, when we literally try to push things down their throat, when we try to shove it down their throat and we try to make them believe that if they don't get it done, this would be the end of the world. That is where we create a mistake. So if you are not creating the need enough, if your clinic is not looking good enough, if you are not appearing convincing to the patient that, yes, this doctor knows the trade well, he knows his job well, patients can literally make out with, we can say, a couple of conversations with you that how confident you are. If you are not confident, which is absolutely fine. Some people are introvert. They don't have that kind of, you can say, conversation levels. Remember, it is a learnable skill. You can always alter it. You can always change it. You can always, you can say, improve it. So don't worry about those parts. Now, 1C is lack of number of patient of footfall. Lack of number or patient footfall. So this is the primary problem with majority of the dental clinics. If I have to pinpoint two queries, you can say biggest queries in any clinic, it would be lack of patient footfall, patient bargaining. That's it. Of course, there are multiple, but if I have to pinpoint any two queries, which are the, you can say the large ones or the most asked ones, these two are the ones. So the lack of patient footfall has a primary reason, primary setting, or a primary answer in marketing. Now, when I say marketing, people understand advertising and promotion. So that is where your, you can say, pitfall lies in understanding that marketing is not at all only advertising or promotion. If it was, what do the patients gain out of it? There is ample amount of people present out there, but the one who adds value makes a difference. Take this session for an example. Am I doing it for money? Am I doing it for any returns? The answer is no. I'm using it for my visibility. I'm using it for my marketing. I'm using it for establishing my credibility, that I know the things. I know a lot of things. If not all, I know a lot of things, which I'm trying to share freely and openly with all the colleagues. I never make a distinction between the fact when I'm taking these kind of sessions, that whether these sessions are paid or non-paid. So I don't make a difference in that. Of course, my paid workshops are entirely different. That is a different topic for any other day altogether. But what I mean to say is that if you are lacking numbers or lacking footfall, then you need to understand, if you are not visible to your target audience, why would you get results? Why would you expect results? And if you are not getting or expecting results, the problem lies primarily with you only and not with them. Many times we sit in our four walls of the clinic and expect the patients to walk in. And we believe that we have the best of the materials, best of the skills, best of the teams, but we still don't have patients because you are not known or visible to your target audience or to your patients or to your prospective patients. This is the biggest flaw. This is the biggest fault. Many a times patients say this thing after a good treatment from you. They are very happy. They are very satisfied. And they say, "Doctor, where were you all these years? I would have gotten my treatment done from you long time back. I wouldn't have roamed around here and there. मैं कहीं और नहीं जाता." And suddenly then you realize, look at the heavens and say, "Thank you, Lord Almighty. Somebody is there to care. Somebody is there who appreciates my talent." But the problem is that the patient is, maybe in a right way, he is being sarcastic. He's saying, of course, he means to say, not saying it. He means to say, "Why the hell were you not visible to me all these years?" In marketing, the simple one-line answer is, if you are capable and master of your craft, it is your responsibility to be visible to your target audience. Period. End of debate. If you feel being doctors, you can't market, you can't advertise, you can't promote, you can't add value, you need to understand that you are in a wrong place. Now, people ask me how to do marketing. Should I do paid marketing first? Should I do inorganic first or organic first? The thing is, even if you do a paid marketing, somebody will seek validation from you. They'll search out who is Dr. Bhavdeep Ahuja. They'll Google Dr. Bhavdeep Ahuja. If they find me on a couple of places, my website, probably my social media, they'll come to know, okay, this guy is making videos also. This guy is writing blogs also. This guy is doing podcasts also. This guy is doing some infographic and posters and patient awareness also. Okay, I feel I can trust him. Of course, he'll check out Google reviews as well. So this is the validation concern to your paid ad. When you do a paid ad and they don't find you organically, I don't find him anywhere, he may not be a scam. And then people have a failure of paid marketing because the opinion could not be validated. Post-COVID is a very, very funny world we are living in. People seek redemption, people seek validation, people are looking out for those things where they can, you can say, challenge their mindset to check out whether they don't get trapped in the wrong place or not. They should be in the correct place. That is their mean. पैसे तो सबने लेने हैं, डेंटिस्ट ने, I mean. वहां पे दें जहां पे काम अच्छा हो, जहां पे ट्रीट अच्छा किया जाए. That is the mindset people have mostly. Means we have to pay everywhere. Dentistry is costly, but we should pay wherever it is deserving. Okay, let's go to 1D. Less high ticket patients. If you have less low ticket patients, you are automatically bound to have less high ticket patients. It is a no-brainer, because the less number of patients have a trust factor on you, it will spill on to your next work. Maybe the doctor is not confident. Maybe he doesn't have that kind of facilities. Maybe he doesn't have that kind of team. Maybe he could not tell me properly. Maybe could not convince me properly. Maybe could not sell me properly. This might be their mindset. And then when you have good high ticket patients, they are going to refer the patients to you. So it is all starting from your low ticket first, medium ticket, and then high ticket. Every one of us wants to do FMR. Nobody is interested in do a classical stylized class 1 or class 2, sorry. They believe that nahi, ye mera kaam nahi. I want to do FMR. Everybody wants to do FMR and implants. What about the basics? Nobody wants to, or nobody can ride a Ferrari on the first day of their car driving. They start from a Maruti only. They start with a driving school only, or maybe from someone in the family only. You have to learn the craft. If you don't learn the craft, don't have high expectations. It is very simple. You might find me throwing truth bombs at you, but that is much needed. I am not here to offer you goody, sweet solutions early in the morning on a Monday morning. Especially, you will never get it from me. You'll get hard facts, true answers, and truth bombs. If you are happy with them, it's perfectly okay. If not, your choice. No, I can't force my opinion on you. But somebody needs to show the mirror. And if I don't show you the mirror, who's going to? Normal pricing is they think high. Now, what is normal pricing and what is they thinking high? You don't get into the mindset of the patient. If the patient says you are too expensive, that is not an abuse, first of all. Secondly, if they compare it, then that means that maybe they don't think that whatever price you are saying is worth the value you will be offering. For example, you say 2,500 for a composite class 1. You say very small looking clinic, decent size, clean, but very small looking clinic, one staff member, one chair, a dentist, theek thak, not very good. But why is he exorbitantly priced? Now, a big chair setup, maybe 3 chair, 4 chair setup, good 4, 5, 6 team members, and of course the presentation style. The 2,500 is a peanut amount over there. So the normal changes from the situation, not from your thought process or their thought process. I have to think it accordingly. You pay for a 50 or 80 rupee ticket in a single screen theater only. If single screen says I'll charge 250 or 300 for a ticket, you'll say, hey, you are not deserving that 250 to 300. Now think that in the patient perspective. Now, if a movie is being displayed in a multiplex and a single screen, still many cities have a lot of single screen cinemas. Would you prefer a multiplex or a single screen? You'll prefer a multiplex. I want to enjoy. I want to spend time with my family over there. So if you are stuck onto that philosophy, why would the patient not? And nobody, you can say, keeps a gun on your head and says, please spend 300 per ticket for this movie. And if you are ready to spend it, you are ready to spend it wholeheartedly. You could have watched the movie alone or with a friend in about 150 rupees. But you chose to spend 1,000, 2,000 rupees for the whole experience. That is what the patients want. They want the holistic experience. It's not only about how skilled you are or how flashy your clinic is. It is the combination of small little things that is going to work. It is not that one thing is going to work. Then not having budget of implant, want EMI, and not having credit cards, want EMI on trust. Now, budget of implant is, again, when you get onto budget, it is, I would call an implant as a medium ticket procedure. If somebody is charging decently well, I'm talking of a single implant here. So if they are wanting EMI and not having credit card, they want EMI on trust. It is again, not offering convenience is one thing separate, but not selling it in a way is something separate. That is what I said. Selling by script, selling by design has to be there, not by default. Because once you do these things in a role rehearsal or a role reversal way, you understand you understand the patient pain points also. You understand the art of negotiation. You understand the art of patient handling patient objections. So this is the way things go. If we only have to can say think about these things, that every problem lies with the patient only, then I'm sorry to say that you are in the wrong thought process. Every problem does not lie with the patient. Then can't charge enough for my service because you are not selling well. That is why you can't charge enough for your service. You are not, the confidence is not reflecting in your eyes. You are not confident of your skills. You are not confident of selling. I've seen colleagues sell 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh plans with a single click, with a single, you can say single conversation, and patients are paid for it because they trust them. It is all a game of trust. It all started from lack of footfall. It all started from, you can say, lack of low ticket patients. So if you have multiple problems from low ticket to high ticket, then something is definitely wrong at your end. Now, downgrading self, if you're downgrading yourself by charging low or charging optimum, not patients paying you, then identify where the problem lies. Does it lie with your skill set? Does it lie with your convincing part? Does it lie with your communication part? Does it lie with your conversation part? Wherever it lies, do it. Do it, make that as a learning goal and update yourself. Once you start updating yourself in the skill sets desired, you will automatically feel that you're upgrading and you will not even think twice before charging. And that will reflect into that. All this shows me one thing else. I'm not sure, I might be wrong. All this shows me at least one, that you have not been regularly updating yourself. And trust me, if you were updating, it is all reflection, you can say, of whatever we see. If your patients seemingly have all these problems, then I'm sorry to say that all these problems lie with you also. Because we are a reflection of our customers, or our customers are a reflection of us. Probably we are in this kind of, you can say, thought process or life living mechanisms. And that is why we confirm in ourselves or confine ourselves to such a thought process that yes, things can't change for me. I'm very happy. I'm very sad. I'm very displeased with whatever is going on. Consent in a case paper only or separate page. Again, if you're lacking to learn consent, learn it properly. Consent is always on a separate page. Why it is on case paper? The case paper goes with, you can say, sometimes with the patient also many times. Some people do keep a record of the case paper, of course, but a consent is a separate document which has to be kept a record on it. So, and all these problems, 9 of your problems from A to I, give me an idea that you have never ever opened up my YouTube channel. All these problems have been already addressed by, in fact, I would say 90% plus of the pain points that I received have been already addressed on my YouTube channel in different videos, in different formats. I keep on posting that in the links. But if you are lazy enough to not open them, it is your fault, not my fault. If my video has, you can say, 400, 500 views, it is your fault, not my fault. If I am giving you the content and you are not taking it, it is your fault in that sense. Of course, the content might not appeal to you, but at least it should have a view. Maybe the view duration may not be there. You come across, you open up the video and you come across, no, I didn't find that content good. Perfectly okay with me. But at least you should open the view. 2,000 of you are in 2 communities. 2,500 are in the Facebook PhD group, 2,600. 4,000 on the YouTube channel. At least common points would be there. Where is the viewership? At least opening of the videos there. Even if people open it once for 3, 5 or 2, 3 minutes, they'll get to know whether the content was deserving for them or not. But without opening, how can you judge the same? So if you give me the reason that maybe we didn't like it, absolutely okay. Maybe you didn't like my solutions as well today. Absolutely okay with that. I'm not here to please anyone. I'm here to do my part, whatever I do in a way of giving back to the society. This is my way of giving back. I hope you get the answer. All these problems are addressed in a separate way also. But since yours was the first problem in that, so I addressed that. It was a pretty long also. Then query number 2 from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. I think so. There is need for non-clinical work from home type of thing for women who can't join or set up private clinic. As for women, after studying so hard for 5 years and then not being able to do anything, or rather not being able to earn, is very frustrating. Need help. So the thing is, if it is your pain point of non-clinical work, I can't guide you on that. I can only guide on how can you make dentistry a better learning and a earning place for yourself. It is not always about opening up the clinic. Some people have a transferable job, especially females. Their husbands have a transferable job, especially married to a non-medico. So they'll, even if they open up the clinic, they'll get transferred from here to there. So that's okay. They can work as a locum. They can work as an associate. The only thing you require for this is developing a skill set. If not everything, be a specialist in any one thing, so that you can be a crown in the jewel for a jewel in the crown for any clinic. It is your choice. You may be having 8-9 specialties in dentistry, but pick up the one you like, you love, and even if you can't open up your own clinic, be an associate, be a locum. But yes, being in that space where you are, you can say, not even master of all, you are jack of all, and you can say master of none, that doesn't hold good. You need to have at least mastery in 1 or 2 subjects, which can make you a different individual. And trust me, we talk of unemployment. There is a lot much in unemployment in India. People always need good workers. The problem is that these days, lot of things have been relegated to the background, in the sense that people want money, but they are not ready to work. And that is where the pitfall lies. I hope you get your answer. I can't suggest you any non-clinical for women for non-dental work. I can only suggest you for making clinical dentistry a better learning place, even if you can't afford to have your open setup, which is perfectly okay and understandable. That's okay. Everybody can't open up a clinic. Clinic handling is not a very easy thing. It requires, you can say again, the 10 nuts and the bolts that I've been, you can say, promoting since long now. All of us need to be aware of all those 10 nuts and bolts that are required to learn from this profession. Thank you. So query number 3 from Perungalathur, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Tamil Nadu, 3A. Not able to get good qualified receptionist front office staff. As I mentioned in the previous query, people are jobless in India. Unemployment is a big issue for almost every political party. And if you're not getting reception, probably your search is at the wrong end. Go to monster.com, go to naukri.com, or worse, you can say use social media, go to LinkedIn. You'll have ample amount of, you can say, people looking out for job. If not, your good old ad in a newspaper is good. So learn to get solutions, not create problems. If you are just messaging in your local circle, local WhatsApp groups, and you can say saving on cost on that, you are trying to get an individual free of cost. And probably you may have the mindset of not paying them also, you can say that great. If you want qualified people, you need to pay them also. If you need good receptionists, you better be ready to shell out a good amount also. There is no dearth of unemployment in India, and people are on lookout for jobs. And trust me, you don't get good qualified people roaming about on road. They might have listed their resume. If they are qualified, they have listed their resume at multiple places. The only thing is probably you are not searching them. Try Baba Jobs. You may get a good, you can say, result over there, apart from the usual Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn, or other things. So you can get over there. So query from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Patient footfall, although 12 years in profession, still not getting the desired patient's footfall. Some days get a OPD of 20. Some days OPDs fall down to 4 to 5. Had done free camps, pamphlet distribution for promotion, but not great results. I must say, if you are living in Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, which is a tier 3 kind of a town only, you need to understand that you're using Nokia 3100 methods in 2023. These things worked 20 years back. They don't work anymore. Firstly, pamphlet distribution is not for promotion, it is for visibility. And that is only for new clinic for the first 3 months. So even after 12 years, you rely on pamphlet distribution, you are absolutely doing it wrong. Second, never expect results from camps. Camps have hardly less than 1% conversion rate. Anyways, do camps as a part of your CSR only, corporate social responsibility. Don't do camps for the purpose of conversions. Number 3, the real currency of today's world is social media. It is the new Aadhaar and the PAN of the digital world. And if you are not present on social media, if you are not targeting on social media, you're missing out on a big chunk of audience. Even a school-going kid has a mobile phone these days. Almost 90% searches today happen from this 5-6 inch device known as cell phone. So if you are not present on social media, you are not using social media for patient, I wouldn't say enticing, but patient awareness or being visible to your target group or being visible to your patients online, then you are missing out on a big traffic in your clinic. Now, OPD of 20 is cruel. OPD of 4-5 is medium to decent, provided you work on all. Now, I'm not really sure about the content of your query of 4A. You want only new patients, OPD of 20 or OPD of 4-5 every day, which is absolutely wrong. You should be more concerned about retention of your old patients rather than only new patients walking in. The perfect golden ratio is 70-30. 70 your old patient should be there, 30% your new patient should be there. Because in old patients, you have them knowing everything of your clinic. They know the ABC, they know the way of working, they know the system of working, they know the consent part. You don't have, they know the payment part also. They know your behavior part also. They know your timings also. Everything they know about you. But we have this mindset, hi, meri nayi OPD nahi aayi. I don't have a new OPD. Bullshit. That is just required 30% or 1/3. Why are you interested so much in that? So if you are just waiting for your OPD of 20 and 4-5, living on month-to-month or day-to-day survival, it is a wrong approach. If 4-5 are your old plus new in a day, I would say medium to decent. We don't need more than 8 to 9 patients a day. We don't need more than 8 to 9 patients a day if you're working on them. If you're doing just consultation, dawai likhna, parchi banana, then your choice. Chahe 50 ki karo, 100 ki karo. I don't care. But then doing more than 7 to 8 to 9 patients, workable patients, more than that is actually calling for dropping a bomb on your back and neck. Don't do that. Dentistry is a very, very stressful profession. We all need to understand that if we are not doing dentistry in a proper way, in an ergonomic way, we are creating ourselves as a ground for, you can say, many problems in future for our back. So, OPD of 20 or 4-5, you have to make a call how much you actually need. Old plus new percentage I gave you, camps as a part of CSR, pamphlet distribution, old way, outdated way, anyways not applicable on you. So why do you expect great results? Lack of social media presence, missing out on big chunk of audience, which is present online. After 12 years, if you're still resorting to the old ancient ways of marketing, you know where the fault lies. You have to make an effort yourself. That is the only thing. I had good patient conversion ratio of nearly 90%, but when patient input is income is come, output is not up to the mark. Patient conversion ratio of 90%, but the income is not up to the mark. That means that probably your charges are not on the decent size, which means that your charges are the reasons for patients saying an immediate yes, for you getting a 90% conversion. Even if you're getting a 70% conversion, that is close to the ideal rate. 7.2 out of 10 or 72% is the ideal conversion rate. You can get a lot many out of that. If I go by your words only, this is your query continued in 4A, 4B. If I go by your version only, if you have a good conversion rate of 90%, that means you should have a good trust factor amongst your patients. Then why are you not having the OPD? Probably your service offering is not good. Maybe the patients feel, ठीक है, काम तो किया, but मजा नहीं आया. Didn't get the desired satisfaction. Unfortunately, there is no indicator to measure satisfaction. It relies only on a proxy indicator, which is the perception. How does the patient feel after the treatment? That is the perception on a proxy indicator. And if the perception is more than the expectation the patient carried in while walking into your clinic, then of course, the resultant S would be positive. Otherwise, the resultant satisfaction would be negative. That is where you can say we have to think the fault lies. Even after getting 90% of conversion, you are struggling with OPD, then the fault surely lies at your end only. Think about it. Whatever reasons I've given you, think about it. Of course, if you are attending it. I'm not sure whether you're attending it or not. So many who registered, actually, they're not even attending. So I see 41 participants over there. Anyways, coming to 4C, bargaining patients, especially old patients coming for a long time, whose entire family is coming to us, fear of losing a good bunch of patients if we resist. That is what I have always said. When you don't do marketing, you are dependent upon only a few set of patients, few bunch of patients. And there you lose your bargaining power. When I say this line to people, to many people, they don't believe me. They believe, nahi, sir, it does not happen like this. Now you have actually validated the thing that I always have been saying. Once you are dependent on that, they'll always have, doctor, we are coming to you for this many years. They came to you, you gave a treatment plan is good, 2 lakh rupees. Now they say, we are coming to you since so many years now. Now, we have never told you or never asked you to reduce, but this time for this 2 lakh, we will pay only 1.5 lakh. Now, you are in a position of fix. What to do? If you say no, you lose out on the whole family. If you say a yes, you burn a hole in your pocket. You don't actually earn anything. If you do a substandard job to make profit, you again have a risk of losing. So you're actually caught nowhere. Because they also know that your survival is dependent upon them. Now, once they have this belief that nahi, doctor bahut busy hai, appointment hi bahut mushkil se mili hai. If the mindset is such, the bargaining automatically goes out of window. Because patients believe, time mil gaya, kaam karwa lo, acha doctor hai, because that is the thing they don't want to lose on. And again, that makes a difference in your and their thought process. So that is why marketing is a big must. To have a consistent pipeline of leads, to have a consistent pipeline of patients. Once you have that, there will be a lot of chahal pahal in your clinic. There will be a lot of footfall in your clinic. As I said, this applies to query number 1 also, query number from A to I. So you all will get situations where you will feel that marketing is a waste of time. Marketing is actually the best use of time. If you don't do marketing, it all begins from there. If you don't do marketing, you'll have less patients. If you have less patients, you'll sell to less and 100% won't get converted. You'll treat less. You'll treat less, you'll earn less. Earn less, automatically, even those who are coming, they'll try to force bargaining on you. Ultimate answer, dissatisfaction. Dentistry is a bullshit profession. I'm going to change my profession and all that blah, 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 blah. Where did it start from? It started from marketing. And where we had again, at the cost of repetition, I'll repeat, where we had that notion, God, you're very unkind on me. I have so beautiful clinic. I have so good skill set. My patients, I have good conversion power. I have good selling skills. I can convey to my patients very, very emphatically. But you are cruel to me. You don't send me patients. God has to cater to another 1.5 billion in the country. Of course, not all of them are dentists. Dentists are only 3 lakh and most of them are not practicing. So 1.5, 1.8 lakh of dentists, there are other people also, which God Almighty has to cater to. So don't think that you are the special child of God so that he can listen only to you. God will also help those who help themselves. So make an effort yourself first, rather than relying only on hope, wish and pray model. एक दिन वो दिन आएगा जब सब लोगों को पता चल जाएगा कि डॉक्टर भवदीप कितने बड़े डॉक्टर और मेरे क्लिनिक में फुटफॉल शुरू हो जाएगी. I'm just deliberately taking my example just to give you, exemplify your situation. So it's not like that. You have to make effort for it and then blame anyone else for it. If you blame everyone other than you, then you know where the problem lies. Query from tier 3 city. People are so lazy, even they are shocked to, you can say, write their city name. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, their choice. Anyways, I might be knowing them, but I don't want to disclose what is the city. But you need to write. Name of the city means not tier 3. Tier 3 was written in bracket that we need to make a judgment about that. Lack of patience, lack of marketing is the answer. Lack of visibility to your target audience is the answer. As number of patients is less, wastage of dental material. Your order levels are wrong. Your estimation levels of material consumption are wrong. Make a proper adjustment for it. As it is a long time since my clinic started, the clinic situation have not improved, so lacking in motivation. If you keep on doing the same things, you will never get different results. If you ask this query in pain point session number season 22 as well, even before that also. But if you are relying only on your word of mouth, you are actually committing a mistake. Word of mouth is one of the wonderful tools, no doubt about it, but it is not a marketing strategy. It is a bonus. Some days Diwali, some days Diwala. You will have no control over what is the word of mouth is going to do for you. If word of mouth is not going to give you consistent patients, why do we even call word of mouth a strategy? Treat it like a Diwali bonus. As income is less, can't procure all the things required for proper documentation. Proper documentation does not require anything. It does not require a DSLR. Even a DSLR is just 1 lakh rupees. You are close to that. You can use your mobile phone also for documentation. If you were, you can say, people are doing mobile dental photography courses for it to teach how to take photos from your phone. My assistant takes wonderful photos, zoomed in photos from his ordinary mobile. It is all about learning the art. Doing same things, expecting different results is being cruel to yourself. If you are not willing to change, then you can't blame anyone. If your OPD is not increasing, then the fault lies with you. Maybe your skill set is not that much optimum. Maybe your selling skills are not that much optimum. Maybe your conversation skills are not that much optimum. Maybe your patients don't have a trust factor on you. Maybe your patients don't get convinced that this doctor can handle my situation. Whatever it is, look into the mirror and look into the mirror. I'm showing it to everyone. Make that as a learning goal. Whatever you don't know, make that as a learning goal. You can't learn everything altogether. Pick up 1 or 2 things, make that as a learning goal, execute it. Just learning things, listening to webinars, depends. I've told you to make notes. I'm not sure how many of you actually will make it. And those of you who are not making the notes, trust me, what is getting today in your brain? Nothing else but KC, knowledge cholesterol, nothing else. Knowledge cholesterol is nothing but accumulation of more and more knowledge without any execution. It is all about thinking what is important to you at that point of time. Prioritization has been always wrong with the mankind. We have always picked out wrong choices. We are always, you can say, have failed to distinguish between cow dung and cake. We put some cream on cow dung and call it cake. That is how our thought processes go these days. And internet is full of these kind of scams. We have failed to distinguish who is the real knowledge giver, who is the real knowledge provider, and who is the scammer. Again, I'm not distinguishing, I'm not matching it to this situation. I'm just trying to make you understand that sometimes we learn it from a fraud person or whatever skill. non-dentistry skill I'm talking. And then we say it does not work, or maybe I did not learn. And then some people have an attitude problem in the sense that, oh my God, this course is so costly. How costly? 10, 15, 20,000. Even if you learn two things from that course and that helps you get two patients, which are worth 10,000, your cost is covered. Your cost is covered. We don't go into the long-term picture, and we are stuck with that mindset. Oh my God, this course is so costly. We spend lakhs and crores on meaningless education, which did not prepare us for the real world. But we don't want to invest on our education, which can actually help us to face us the world, which is practical. Take, for example, the documentation, the management, and the finance. All of us are big zero in that when we pass out from college. Maybe with time we learn those skills, but that is where it makes a difference. If we don't want to learn those skills, we don't want to implement those skills, even after learning, we don't want to implement those skills, then we don't have the right to blame anyone for that matter. I hope that answers your query. So, query from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Even after being in the 16th year of running clinic, OPD is very less. 10 to 15 patients a month. Out of that, some do multiple treatments. So somehow pulling the cart, positive point, patient retention is good. Almost 80 to 90% old patients still with me. Now, that gives me an idea that you are a good worker, a good clinician. If your 80 to 90% patients have stuck with you, then that is a huge plus. But 10 to 15 patients a month means you're relying only on word of mouth. You're relying only on your old patients. Because even if you can say that you are a classical example of word of mouth is a bonus. Sometimes they do multiple treatments, so you pull out the card some days, sometimes you don't. Practically, you are having an OPD of not even one per day, which is a wrong thing to have, which means you are lacking on marketing effort. I've already spoken so much about the marketing part. The reason for listing these queries in that order was that sometimes the queries get answered in the previous ones. So that is why I insist, make notes. Maybe, your query might be answered in others' queries. So you need to do active marketing. And when I say marketing, it is again, you don't have to start with paid. You have to start with organic first. Be visible to your patients. This also gives me an idea you are not present on social media. Social media presence means for your patients, I know. Start with a few basic things. Patient education tips, which you're giving in your clinic on day-to-day basis. A blog on anything. Brushing, how can it help? It need not be 2,000 words, 1,000 words like how I write. I sometimes get into that zone, I don't want to leave it and I want to finish the topic. So that is why my blogs are long. You can write a 200-word, 150-word blog, which is hardly 2 paragraphs. These are the things which we know in and out. We speak to our patients day in and day out. What is the problem in putting them word to it? Make videos, make podcasts, make a faceless channel if you don't want to show your face. That's okay. So many faceless channels are, you can say, successful. But that is actually the new currency of this world. As I already said, being not there on social media means you are losing out on a good chunk of traffic, which can be your patients. People are always searching out for good doctors. Even I have to search someone sometimes, especially doctors, although I know many of them, especially the old seasoned ones. But if I want to search someone or validate someone, even I'll do that search on Google. So we are living in that world where people don't even talk to neighbors because of whatever reason. Either they're too busy, or maybe security reasons, or maybe they're introverts. Multiple reasons, but I've given you 3 reasons. So when they don't talk to their neighbors, how will your word of mouth spread? Word of mouth used to spread because people used to intermingle in society. They used to talk to their neighbors, they used to talk to their friends. Nowadays, still people have their get-together, still meet friends, but do they talk normal? No. The weekend, you can say, party is all about booze and dance. Drink and dance. That is the only thing about weekend party. Get drunk, get high on life, come back. Sleep of all the worries, sleep of all the tensions, or drink all worries down the line. So many people I've seen doing that. I'm not saying you do it, but that is the way culture has developed. So people are hardly connected to each other. This is again a post-math of post-COVID world, or an aftermath of post-COVID world. So if you are relying only on word of mouth, even after 16 years, you're doing wrong. Get on social media, get to patient education, create those. It is a process. Don't expect overnight results. It is going to work. And once you have a good organic base set up after 3 to 6 months, try paid marketing. Where to learn paid marketing? I can teach you. That is not an issue. That is not an issue. Okay. 6B, not able to convert big ticket patients like FMR, implants, crown and bridge, laminates. Reason I feel is that I think too ethical and explain too much, and patients get put off knowing some cons of treatment. Another reason could be fear of failing. Did implant course almost 8 years back, still shy from placing implant and depend upon consultants. The mentality of placing it safe or playing it safe. I would say you're not wrong in your thought process. That is one aspect of it. You are trying to play it safe. That is absolutely okay in this fearful medical legal world, where every other day we hear of a medical legal case. That is one aspect. Now, having said that, what I can see from your queries is that you have a lot of expertise. But the only thing is that maybe you are being too idealistic to by the book approach, which is right to an extent. But beyond a certain extent, it is actually a nail in the coffin. You need a clarity of what you want to do. You need a competency of developing that trait if you are lacking something. You need the capability of handling what all you have. With the 3 C's, clarity, competency, and capability. If you lack the 4th C, which is courage, then all those 3 C's are of nil use. Because courage is one thing which lets us implement or execute certain things. And without execution, we won't understand whether this thing worked for us or not. I always say, try hard, fail fast. We all learn from our failures. Somebody who says, I have been 100% successful is a big liar. Is a big liar. We all have tried, failed, tried, failed, tried, succeeded. We all have that graph. Sometimes first, sometimes second, sometimes third attempt. Robert Bruce did it the 7th time. So why are we worried? Try hard, fail fast, so that you next time you don't have to. So you need to develop some courage. Now, another point I would like to add here is explain too much only if the patient asks for it. Ask for a prior permission for it. Is it okay if I explain you a few things or two? Because sometimes we give too much of gyan, and we live in this world where nobody needs a gyan. We live in a very impatient generation. Again, one of the bad aftermaths of post-COVID world. We live in that generation where we get flipped every 3 seconds. The reel or the short, nahi pasand aaya, chal aage, chal aage. That is the way we get flipped off. So nobody likes too much of gyan. Mentality of playing safe is good, but you need to complement your clarity, competency, and capability with a courage part. Unless you execute, you won't fail or pass. You are always in the not attempted category. To be in pass or failure, you have to attempt. So if you feel your knowledge is a little, we can say, dusty, brush it off with any other crash course. You can get a crash course because you already learned implants, as you said, properly. If I am getting that, if you learned it properly. If that was also a crash course, and then I am not sure. If you learned it properly, then you maybe need a 2-day, 3-day crash course and get on to the things where you do things in a systematic way And whatever, if it fails, that's okay. So the only thing is, when you know that you're going to fail or you want to succeed, but you are having less chances, maybe you won't try then. But if you are willing to do it, go ahead. Query from Pune, Maharashtra. Patient who comes for second opinion, expect an honest opinion from us. If the work is not proper or very shabby done, what should be my stand? Should I tell patient the work is optimally done, or should I try to justify the work of previous doc? I have made 2 videos on this, detailed videos on this on YouTube. And you are in my community since long. So I post those videos in WhatsApp group also. Open a WhatsApp group, you'll get the answer. But now that you have posted the pain point, it is my responsibility to answer it. If the patient comes for second opinion, even if the patient is a first opinion or a third opinion, you have to give an honest opinion. If the work is not proper or the patient is facing a distress, try to judge what does the patient want first. If the patient says, I am in pain, say, what do you want? I want that you write against that doctor to me on a pad. My reply would be, I'm sorry, you're in wrong place. You say, I want to get rid of this problem. For example, the patient says this. Okay, then the first ground rule is, we shall not discuss the past. If it is good or not good, we need to rectify. We need to solve your problem, which means we need to undo your old work, whether good or bad. Sometimes good work will also create a problem. We need to undo the work. We shall not discuss the past. If that is okay with you, let's move on. नहीं, आप मेरे को लिख के दो, आप मेरे को बताओ उसने ऐसा किया वैसा किया. I'm sorry, we are not here to discuss. What do you want? You want a solution or you want further problem? Judge that first. The problems we are in a hurry to start. That is where we don't even ask. When you're not discussing the past, whether you try to justify or not justify, that both the options go out of the window. Why do you need to do that? People would say that this is not practical. I'm doing this since 10 years now. I'm doing this with an attitude of 10 years now. Learn to develop it. Does the pamphlet in newspaper work? Have tried social media for advertising, but that also is not working as the area I practice is not very developed. It is remote corner of Pune where people come to dentist only in pain. The problem is newspapers work only for new. I already answered that in a previous query. They work for new. They are allowed only for new also and just for intimation purpose. They're not for promotion purpose. Social media for advertising, again, giving it a long rope and validating it with an organic presence. If somebody searching for you doesn't find you online, how are they going to make a judgment about you? If you don't have your website, if you don't have Google reviews, if you don't have testimonials, if you don't have a feedback, how are you going to? And remote corner or village corner. See, this is a very funny world we live in. People living in cities complain, lot of mushrooming of clinics. Let's go to villages or outskirts. People living in villages, the patient does not pay. City is good. सबको दूसरे की थाली का लड्डू बड़ा लगता है. We are an unhappy generation. We have to accept it. We try to find faults in everything that we get without looking at any fault in ourselves. So if the patient comes only in pain, you have to arouse and create that need. It's not only about painkillers. It's not only about antibiotics. It is not only about that only needed treatment. It is all about a holistic approach. But you will be visible to your audience. If you are in that remote area, you are lucky. You can have a deeper connect with your audience physically also, along with digital, along with whatever local ways of pamphlets or networking that you want to try. Smaller areas, remote areas can have a good connect with their target audience. What else do you want? Heard of the halo effect? Talk out to people. Talk nicely. They'll have, once you leave, they'll have it. Okay, fine. Doctor came to me himself. He was well dressed. He was talking nicely. Kaam bhi acha karta hoga. Must be working good as well. Halo effect. They create a shadow for you. Now, reverse. Horn effect. I'll give you an example for myself. I play cricket on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So, most of them are my batchmates from school. So they know it. I'm a doctor. Sometimes even I drop a simple catch. What they will say? Simple catch तो पकड़ा नहीं जाता, काम क्या घंटा करता होगा. Sorry for my language, but that is the way people think. Hello, that is my hobby. That is my profession. I'm allowed to fail in my hobby. I may not be allowed to fail in my profession. So think about it. Don't create an opinion of how I play on the cricket field along with how I work in my clinic. But this is my friend circle. I can still say it. Jahan ek dusre se bindas, we can talk. But people, mostly unknown people, talk behind your back. So that is known as the horn effect. Okay, this is my visiting card. Send me a few patients. I'll give you commission. खुद चल के आया था, बोलने की तो तमीज नहीं है, काम क्या खाक करता होगा. That horn effect. This is the difference between halo and horn effect. I hope you get your answer. Okay, so with this query number 7, it is almost 1 hour, exactly 1 hour. So we wind up for this session. And of course, let me go to the end of the slides because I have to end the presentation in a way, whichever we can cover. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. Before I wind up, of course, you are aware of Facebook PhD group, where we are trying to do our bit for eradicating the DMF index of dentistry, the documentation management and finance. So spread in your circle. All of you know it, that whatever we run on WhatsApp, this is a community. We consolidated 6 groups into 3 and then 3 into 2. This is the way we are trying to make more people in one community so that people can learn and share with each other. And YouTube channel, as on 30th June, 700 plus videos are already there. It's all about consistency, which I've been doing it. And to tell you a funny fact, all these problems have already taken till now, and I'll say 90% plus problems which I got in the pain points forms have already been taken by me on the YouTube channel or on the FB PhD group in the form of blog or in the form of a video on YouTube. So this is my social media presence, again in common name, Dr. Bhavdeep, without any name, score, underscore, whatever. So do send me a feedback in the WhatsApp group where you are, or at least post your takeaways. If you have made notes, please click a picture of that and post it for your friends and colleagues in the WhatsApp community that you're in, so that it awakens them. It makes them aware of what they are lacking. So don't write anything about me. I'm okay with that. But if you have made notes or made anything, or even you have typed your takeaways, please post it for your own fraternity. So this is the upcoming part. As I said, 90% we are on, 10% chances there might be an issue in the internet. But if that is there, I'll alter the Zoom link. Again, this code will work. This QR code will work. This link will work. And obviously, those who have already registered, they will get an email from Zoom and only that the webinar information has been updated or the time has been changed. If I get a problem of an internet in the evening, you'll get an information by 5 or 6 p.m. I'll inform you. In the group also, I'll inform, and you'll get information from Zoom also. And this is again the next month that is coming up. Financial pain points, you all posted for finance also. Again, 3 webinars, practical solution to all the webinars on my dad's late birthday. 7 a.m., 2 p.m., not 3 p.m., 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Saturday, 12th of August. So mark the dates, block the dates. If you will be interested in, if you have entered your pain points in the finance Google form, you'll be getting a solution to them also. We're there. And the registration links will be opening very soon. As soon as my dear friend Raghu Ganesh designs something, you will get a QR code and everything out of it. So thank you so much, and block this date. And any questions, please feel free to ask. And I stop my share, unmute all of you, and please feel free to ask anything that you want. I've unmuted you all. Please go ahead and ask. Thank you, Dr. Chandraprabha, Dr. Shravani. Thank you, Dr. Aarti. Happy Guru Purnima to you. Thank you, Dr. Ajinkya. Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. Thank you, Dr. Anuj. Thank you, Dr. Ajinkya. Guru Purnima to you as well. Thank you, Dr. Geetika. Okay, thank you, Dr. Rajkumar. Thank you, Dr. Vijal. Thank you, Dr. Smriti. Thank you, Dr. Omi. Thank you, Dr. Guru Raj. Happy Guru Purnima. Thank you, Dr. Puneet. Thank you, Dr. Deepa. Thank you, Dr. Dhagash. Happy Guru Purnima to you. Thank you, Rohan. Thank you, Dr. Raghu. Yes, it does help Raghu to listening to other things. Thank you, Dr. Ankit. Thank you, Dr. Siddesh. Thank you, Raghu. Thank you, Sabyasachi. Thank you, Ankit. Happy Guru Purnima. Thank you, Rakesh ji. Thank you, Rohit. So please unmute and ask if you have any queries. I'll be waiting for a couple of minutes. If not, then we'll call it a day. I know it is Monday morning and everybody would be in a rush back to the clinic. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Binda. Thank you, Dr. Swapnaja. Thank you, Dr. Parul. Okay, if there are no queries, hopefully we'll be meeting in the evening. But if not, you'll get a message from me in the WhatsApp group and from the Zoom as well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you, Dr. Vishakha. Happy Guru Purnima to you as well. Bye-bye. Take care. Have a great day and a great week ahead.